My 25 female husband, 26 male, lied about my engagement ring. Hello Reddit, I hope you are doing well. I really want your opinion on this because my husband is furious and I feel bad for embarrassing him. Long story short, my husband proposed with a very beautiful 3CT ring that totally swept me off my feet. We got married 6 months ago and have been together for 7 years, through college. When we discussed rings in the past, we both agreed that we wanted a natural diamond even if it was smaller. After he proposed, he was telling me about the ring and said it was a real diamond. He bought the diamond and then customized the band, etc. I was so taken aback by this I googled similar rings and they were going for $20,000 to $30,000. My husband works hard and makes good money, but this is a lot, especially when we both have home ownership goals, student loans to pay, etc. Fast forward to today, hubby and I are happy newlyweds. I'm out with my girls and one of my friends says, "Is it real?" talking about my ring, and my friends kind of said they couldn't believe it was real because it was so big. I told them my hubby told me it was real and they dropped it all in good fun, but it got me thinking. I went to a jewelry store to have it looked at and the jeweler said it was definitely a lab diamond. Just to clarify, I would have said yes if my husband proposed with a ring pop. I felt like he got a bigger ring than he could afford, so he got a lab diamond and lied to me to impress my family / his friends / etc. I was super upset and confronted him about it, and he owned up to lying and said he just wanted the best for me and he always wanted to replace it with a real diamond one day. Honestly, he was very sweet and I totally forgave him. Later on, casually in conversation, I let slip to my mom, one of her friends, and one of my girlfriends about the ring being a lab diamond and hubby lying. They lit into him and I had to tell them to relax. Fast forward, hubby finds out and he is furious. He says I embarrassed him and should have kept it to myself. I stood up for myself and told him I didn't think that was fair because by lying to me he lied to them too, because obviously they asked me and I told them it was a natural diamond. Now, he is super upset, I feel bad, and things in general are no bueno. Am I the bad guy here? Now for top comment. Sarazorts 27. First, lab diamonds are real diamonds. Second, you should not have told anyone about this, especially not your family. Third, you owe him an apology. Fourth, if you would have said yes to a ring pop, why are you being so materialistic? Different Mirror 100. Yeah, lab diamonds are real diamonds, but they are way less expensive and don't, according to the diamond industry, qualify as a stable investment. Op is not asking if she is the because she is materialistic. She clearly stated she would not have cared, but because he at least heavily implied it was a natural diamond and thus lied to her. ETA, Op, I think what you are feeling is validated, but maybe you could work on your communication in your marriage. There are those beautiful Celtic vows by Morgan Llewellyn, "When we quarrel we shall do so privately." Vortex Magus. The diamond industry is like 2 or 3 cartels who mine hundreds of tons of diamonds each year and keep most of them in a set of warehouses so they can artificially inflate the price. Diamonds are one of the most common gemstones, and under the earth we estimate there's more unexploited diamond than copper, iron, and nickel or all put together. The perceived value and rarity associated with diamonds is the result of an elaborate marketing campaign and has nothing at all to do with the actual difficulty in finding and exploiting diamond mines. Vega 0024. Reading all your responses, you're absolutely insufferable. Nobody said women should keep their mouth shut. All you've been told repeatedly, but you refuse to accept it, is not that you needed to lie for your husband. You just didn't have to throw him under the bus like you did. Saying your mom and friends are close or whatever isn't an excuse. You keep trying to make yourself feel better and like you're not a bad person for what you did. I can understand your feelings on the real diamond, meaning natural diamond, but after everything people here have said and your responses, you literally went to have it checked. It's like you're trying to make yourself sound like a bad person. The sad thing that you don't realize is you're 25 and he's 26, and you just went and embarrassed him in a way he's going to have to deal with for the rest of his life, given the reactions of the people you told, that being if this whole thing doesn't snowball into something much worse. Bad book, bitch. This would definitely piss me off due to the embarrassment of lying unwittingly to friends and family. However, I think you should look at the past 7 years as a whole and not let this one thing overshadow that. He lied, yes. It isn't a natural diamond. But it isn't as if he got you a moissanite or CZ. He still got you a diamond. And I'm guessing what happened is that when it came time to actually buy it, he was probably discouraged at how small of a mined diamond he could purchase. It may have meant a delay in proposal because it may have embarrassed him to think of giving you something your friends might think was small. Ultimately, I think you should let it go. Millions of women are walking around with CZ or worse but think they're real because their man wanted them to feel like a princess. It was unfortunately a bad lie but with good intentions. And I do think it's messed up that your family got involved. Kate 1124. Friend, you realized that children in Africa die and get injured working in the mines because it's fast money and super dangerous? Diamonds are just carbon. The difference with a lab diamond is that you didn't contribute to the suffering of children and families in Africa. You should have definitely kept it between you two. No need to involve others in something that pertains to your marriage. I am Cindy Lou. He definitely shouldn't have lied to you about your ring or got you one so big that it's not realistic to be natural for your income. You're going to think about him lying to you every time you look at your wedding ring, and that's going to be annoying. You were eventually going to find out when you got it insured. I can't believe he tried to pull this thinking he'd get away with it till death do you part. You shouldn't have told your family or friends unless you were sure you wanted them to think he's a dirtbag behind your back, because they do now. Hope you're okay with that. You have to be very careful what you share negative about him to others, because the longer you're together the more you know about him. Good and bad. And he'll know more about you. Now he has a hall pass to tell one of your dirty, shameful secrets over the next decades to his friends and family. Your friends suck and have zero class for questioning if it's real, also. Next story 2. I, 28 female, asked my husband, 32 male, to block someone the other night. Feeling unsure of myself. So, I'm hemming and hawing on this. I, 28F, and my husband, 32M, have been together nearly a decade, married last October. Generally our relationship is very good. For some relevant context, we've dabbled in ethical non-monogamy in the past, but closed the relationship a couple months prior to getting married as it was a big life change and we wanted to see how the world interacted with us as a married couple. Moving on to the issue. There is a woman who has been pursuing my husband. We'll refer to her as B. B and I have some history, and, to put it bluntly, I hate her. I absolutely despise this woman with every fiber of my being, and that was before all of this. She has a history of being mentally and physically abusive to multiple partners. She is dishonest and insincere in just about every interaction. She makes my skin crawl. She started seriously pursuing my husband just before we got married, knowing we had closed the relationship. The list of occurrences goes as follows. The first time she visited, early in our relationship, I went to my husband and I's bedroom to take a nap. I have chronic health conditions and worked in healthcare and needed to recuperate. I came out to find them in the dark with her sprawled across his lap. She left very shortly after. She started her serious pursuit of him a week before we got married. This included a message stating that, husband's name, and I may be interested in each other, like I had no say or agency in the matter. This was sent in the days leading up to our wedding. She was hitting on him via FB Messenger on our wedding day, and only stopped when expressly told to do so. She tried to be friendly to then only give one-word replies, blow off any genuine attempts at conversation, etc. This culminated in her inviting my husband and I to a holiday party. I was immediately uninvited in favor of a man who raped me and was horrifically abusive to me. I have permanent sensation loss in various parts of my body from what he did to me. I want to add, my husband did tell her off for this, but it does bother me that this wasn't the end of things. After being told it would be a minimum of a year, she started pushing again recently. I told my husband I wasn't okay with them ever having a romantic or sexual relationship. I believe she has no respect for me or our relationship. I told him to very plainly and clearly enforce this boundary with her. Very shortly after the above, she started pushing to hang out with him. I stated I would only be okay with it as a friendly, nothing sexual, sensual, or romantic hangout. That if anything felt charged, he was to leave. He made a few very crass jokes and comments about apology gifts, to which I stated that clearly the temptation was too much, that I was sick of hearing about this woman. I demanded he blocked her. I have had her blocked for months. After some back and forth, he did so. It was after this I found out she was pushing for an overnight visit. The morning after I saw an account with a variation of her first name, think Catherine and cat note, this is not the name, just a comparable example, and her last name pop into my suggested friends on Facebook. Brand new account. No friends. No info. No pictures. Then it disappeared. Had a friend look. It still exists. This account blocked me. I feel like I'm in the fucking twilight zone. I have been told she has caused an issue in several other relationships, and several of even my most anarchical poly friends have said I made the right call. However, my husband is moping. And this is very new to me. I'm not usually a jealous or possessive person. And I usually, but obviously not always, only as Sith deals in absolutes, find stuff like demanding a partner block someone super toxic. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Now for top comment. Linerva. Late 30s female. This. Forget the ethical non-monogamy part or the flirting part for a second. Even if she is a friend only, why the fuck is he entertaining a woman who socialized with your rapist and who bullies and belittled you whilst disrespecting the boundaries you have both enforced with her? She's a menace. Despite being ENM, he's cheating on you emotionally. Because he is putting his boner for her above his primary relationship with you and your comfort. Cultural_shape 3518. This is why non-monogamy doesn't mean no rules, do whatever you want. You're entirely allowed to veto people who don't respect your existing relationship or are clearly going to be more drama than they're worth. Your husband will get over not getting to sleep with the woman who heinously insulted you and tried to make your wedding day all about her. And if he doesn't, that's on him for not caring more about your feelings than the way she strokes his ego, or anything else, and you should explore why that is instead of feeling guilty for not just rolling over and letting this happen. Born_at 8420. It wasn't his intention only works up to the point you made it very clear you didn't want him involved with her in any capacity. He full on disregarded that. So, how did he intend not to dismiss your concerns while completely disregarding what you made explicit? Winterfront 1431. She is an issue but your husband is more of an issue and I feel like you given him too much leeway. He constantly put her feelings before your own. I'd have him delete all social media until he stops being a #K. You need to sit down with him again and be blunt as hell. I'm getting sick of you mopping about this. You clearly think more highly of this woman than me. She has done nothing but cause problems. I'm only going say this once, but if you don't stop sulking like a 5-year-old I will walk right now. I'm already 1 foot out the door with your behavior with her, so keep pushing and you will have no one but her. If he doesn't stop acting like you just took his favorite toy I would leave this marriage. Eventually he will find a way to communicate with her again.